Hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you how to work with proximity prompts in Roblox Studio and how to get them to work correctly in your game. This is a really important tutorial if you want to learn how to actually use your proximity prompts to do different things within your Roblox Studio or even just your Roblox game. You can tie these to webhooks, you can tie these to clickers, you can tie these to anything that you may want. Car seats, blocks, GUIs, doors, everything, and I'm going to show you exactly the basics on how to get these to work. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So to begin with, what we need to do is we need to load up a Roblox Studio and open properties just so we have an idea of what to work against. That is really important, because then we can get the correct utilities, we can correctly get things like block colors, text, and all the transparency, can collides, and we can check all that as well when we're playing. That's really good for debugging and any processes. Anyway, enough of me talking, let's get into this as soon as possible. So I'm going to be showing you 3 different scripts today. I'm going to show you how to make a door, I'm going to show you how to change a GUI to say open and closed for a shop, and the third one is going to be how to change the daylight and things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what I would make is I'm going to grab a block from here, I'd make a part, and then press the plus, proximity prompt, open that, and put a script here. Okay, now that you've done that, what I can show you is the one that I've got here. I've named it proxy, which is really important for this. So what we'll do is we'll start off with the script. So this will be the first script, as we can see here. And this is going to be really important to mark out the variables. So what we'll be doing is we'll put variables, and then we've got that. So then what we can do is proxy equals script.parent.proximity prompt. Now, let me explain this really quickly for you and not hold you back. Proxy is just a variable name that we'll be using and the identifier in the script. To find the proximity prompt, which is here, what we do is we go from the script to the parent of the script, which is this, and then we go into this. So script.parent and then the name of whatever the proximity prompt is. So if I called this red, I'd call this red. Okay, now that we've done that, what we can do is we can do daytime, which is another variable. So daytime equals, and then we've got to do game get service, and then we need the lighting service. This is really important also. So now that we've done this, this is the main frame that we need to actually work on. As we can see in this part, what we're going to do is make sure that the proxy is actually being triggered by a player. What we do is we do proxy dot triggered dot colon connect, and then we do this as a function. Now what we can do is we can press enter and add our end at the end. It's always important to have. And this is a really simple script that we can do, and we get the identifier from here, and we put it here, daytime, and then dot time of day equals, and then we can change this to whatever time that we feel. So if we wanted to do 10 o'clock, 22 is 10 because it's a 24-hour clock. If you did 10, then it'd be daytime. Okay, so now that we've got all this script in, there's nothing else we need to do. All we need to do is test this on the base plate. We need to press play. Now that we press play, we can wait for it to just load quickly. What we can do is we can grab the lighting, which is here, and we can see it's currently 2:30. If we click that, it's 10 o'clock. As showed, if you put 10, it's going to do daytime. If I put 22, then it's going to show the actual one that we wanted, which is going to be nighttime. Okay, now that we've got all of that out of the way, that is our first script complete. I've shown you how it all works. That's how to change the daytime. You can also do this to do things like daytime dot brightness, and then we can do 1, which will change the brightness of the game. So if we want to check what the brightness is already, lighting, brightness is 3, change that, it goes to 1, and it's also going to change to nighttime. that's all we need to do with that script. You can do anything with it, anything that is in lighting. So you can change the shadow softness, you can change it from which technology you may want. Now, the only thing with changing technology is I feel like most of the time it's going to break your game. So that is a use at your own risk. You can also change the geographical latitude, so where the sun is positioned in the game. However, that is all that. You can also change things like environmental diffuse scale. So now that we've done that, we can open this script. We can just remove these two parts because we won't need them for this part, and we don't need that either. So for this next script, we're going to do block 1 equals game.workspace.utilities, and then we're going to do block 1. And we're also going to make another one, which is going to be the same exact thing, but it's going to be called block 2. And the reason we're using things like game instead of parent is because we're grabbing it from the entire mainframe of the game instead of grabbing it from the part that it's already in. So what it'll do is it'll go instantly from the script, it'll go to the workspace, and then into the game, and then it'll go to workspace, then it'll go to utilities, and that's okay. So now that we've done that, we also need to add something called debounce, and that's going to be equaled to false for this one. And then we can do something called an if statement. So if debounce equals false, then. So pretty much what it's going to do is if the debounce equals false, then it's going to do something. And as you can see, it adds an end for us. So then what we're going to do is change it back to be a true debounce. And then we're going to do block 1.transparency equals 1, block 2.transparency equals 0. And we also need to do block 1.canCollide equals true, and block 2.canCollide equals false. And then we need to add an else statement. So we'll do else, and then debounce equals false, block 1.transparency equals 0, block 2.transparency equals 1, block 1.canCollide equals false, and block 2.canCollide equals true. Now with all that out of the way, all we've got to do is we can test it. So we can press play, and we can go up to the proximity prompt. And we can see these are the two doors that need to be anchored, he says. So we'll just anchor them quickly. So you've got your two doors. As you can see, can't walk through it when it's like that. However, you can walk through this one. If I do this, then it changes and I can walk through it. And this one is the other way around. Now to fix that, what you do is you just do the other. So that'd be false, that equals true, that equals false, that equals true, that equals false, and that equals true. And then that's all fixed, and we don't need to mess around with it. So we go over here. Oh, I can walk through it. Oh, I can't walk through it, but I can walk through this one, and vice versa. That's how you get a working door. Very simple, no animation to it, but it is also the easiest way to do something like that. Right, now that we've got this done, we can delete all this in here, but we can keep the debounce equals false. We can keep all the debounce, sorry. However, we just need to put it back to its bare bones. And now we can do one last thing. So tag, so this is how you would change the shop. So equals game.workspace.utilities.gui.frame. This is just my my way of doing it. So there's .tag.frame, and that's fine. So then we do tag. Then we do if debounce equals true, then debounce equals false, proxy.actionText equals close shop, and then we'll add the next line, which is tag.name1.textColor equals the color3.new, and then we can decide what color we want it to be. I want this one to be green, so we want to put green. That's how you get that. And then what we can do is we need to add an else statement, and then we can do debounce equals true, proxy dot action text equals open shop. Then we can do tag dot name one dot text color equals color3 dot new, and then we can add the color. The color for me this time is going to be red. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tag dot name one dot text equals equals closed. And I have actually forgotten to do one thing, which is going to be the tag dot name one dot text equals, and this is going to be open. As we can see, that's all we'll need for this part of the script as well. So then we can go and press play, and we can see that the tag here says open at the moment, and when we do it, we can see it says closed, and this changes the action text as well. So the action text now says open shop. So if I went up to it and pressed it, it would open the shop, and if I press it again, then it will close shop. As we can see, that's pretty simple. We can also add a whitelist to this, so if the player dot name equals something, then only they can do it. However, that is something for the next episode of my proximity prompt series. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you've actually understood what I'm on about. I'll add all of this into the Discord so you can test it out. It'll be in the free model section, link in the description. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and see you later. Bye bye.